When your cat purrs in your lap, that sound is not always happiness. Researchers have confirmed that cats also purr when they are anxious, injured, or in pain, using it as a self-soothing mechanism. The same signal, two completely different messages. That single fact is what this entire field report is about. Animal behaviorists have found that some of the things owners do every day, completely out of love, are quietly working against the cats they're trying to care for. Not because the owners are careless, because the signals are easy to misread. Here is what the research actually shows. A 2021 study in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that cats regularly exposed to yelling developed chronic stress and behavioral problems. Not because they learned a lesson, because they learned something worse. They don't connect your anger to their action, they connect it to you. Their brain doesn't have the wiring to link a consequence to a behavior the way a dog's does. What registers instead, deeply and persistently, is emotional tone. Enough unpredictable outbursts and the cat doesn't learn where the boundaries are. They learn that you are someone they can no longer read. A cat living in low-grade uncertainty about you will hide, lash out, or simply stop engaging. The trust doesn't break all at once, it erodes. Then there is the question of what a cat actually needs to feel well, not just fed, but functionally alive. Cats are hardwired to complete a full hunting cycle: stalk, chase, pounce, catch, kill, eat. Research from the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery links the chronic deprivation of that sequence to obesity, aggression, overgrooming, and withdrawal that mirrors clinical depression. The cat sleeping all day in a quiet house isn't lazy. Something in them has stalled. A full bowl and a warm room look like comfort from the outside, but satisfaction and fulfillment are not the same thing. Cats aren't wired to rest after eating. They're wired to earn the meal first. Researchers call the result of skipping that sequence predatory frustration, and the body keeps score. In extra weight, in fur pulled out, in a cat who stopped being curious about anything. The hydration piece is just as quiet and just as consequential. Cats evolved as desert predators who got nearly all their water from prey, not a bowl. A study published in JAVMA confirmed that cats on dry-only diets had significantly lower total water intake even when fresh water was freely available. Prey tissue runs roughly 70% moisture. Dry kibble runs around 10%. A water bowl doesn't close that gap. Not fully, not biologically. Over years, that low-level dehydration taxes the kidneys steadily and silently. Kidney disease is the leading cause of death in older cats. By the time symptoms surface, the damage is already significant. Switching even one meal a day to wet food measurably increases hydration. A small adjustment, but the kidneys register it across years. University of Lincoln research found that cats show the lowest stress response when touched at the cheeks, ear base, and chin. Stress hormones spike almost immediately when they're touched at the belly or tail base. When your cat rolls over and exposes their abdomen, that is one of the most vulnerable things they can do. In the wild, it leaves every vital organ unprotected. Doing it in front of you means they feel completely safe. And then you reach down with genuine affection, and within seconds, their stress hormones rise. They don't leave angry, they quietly file it away. Touch here equals unpredictable. The trust they extended gets a little smaller each time. To honor the belly display rather than disrupt it, slow blink back at them or reach for the chin. That's the language they're actually using. In cat communication, prolonged direct eye contact is a dominant signal, the feline equivalent of a stare down. A 2020 study published in Scientific Reports found that cats were significantly more likely to approach humans who offered slow blinks than those who held a neutral, open-eyed gaze. The slow blink signals, "I am not a threat. You are safe here." Next time you're across the room from your cat, soften your eyes, blink slowly, then look away. What might feel like being ignored is actually acknowledgement. The same 2020 study in Scientific Reports surfaces something worth sitting with on the question of forced interaction. Cats are consent-driven animals. Every time you pick them up when they didn't choose to come to you or hold them past the moment they signal they want to leave, you are teaching them that approaching you leads to loss of control. The study found that cats approached on their own terms showed more rubbing, more sitting close, more choosing proximity, compared to cats whose interactions were human-initiated. The owners who want closeness most are often the ones holding on longest, and their cats do the math. Getting close means losing the exit, so they stop getting close. For cats, consent isn't a courtesy, it's the whole architecture of trust. Litter box maintenance sits in similar territory, except the threshold for cats is far lower than most owners realize. Cats have roughly 200 million scent receptors, about 40 times more than humans. A box you consider still functional is, to your cat, a sensory event. A 2019 study in Applied Animal Behavior Science found that cats preferred a clean box so strongly they would hold it, uncomfortably, rather than step inside a dirty one. Consistent litter box avoidance is one of the leading reasons cats are surrendered to shelters. In most cases, it doesn't begin with stubbornness. It begins with a box that crossed a threshold the owner never noticed, gradually, scoop by missed scoop, until the cat had no other way to make the message clear. Which brings this back to where it started. The purring in your lap might be contentment. It might be self-soothing in the face of discomfort. Learning to read the rest of the signal, body posture, ear position, the weight of the eyes, is what separates someone who lives with a cat from someone who actually knows one. That's the only goal of this field report, not alarm, fluency. The investigation into how cats actually communicate continues. If this changed how you see your cat, the next report will go deeper. Subscribe to follow the work.